Hey everybody, Anthony here from the Hinkel Homestead, and it is holiday boot cleaning time. So we take off a lot. These are definitely not all of our boots. What you see out here right now, we just took some of the ones that have been getting worn a lot lately, some new ones or used ones that we got recently that we're bringing a little life back into as well. You'll see pictures later of all the boot trees we pulled out, the shaft stabilizers as well. Don't forget too, also people, there's belts. You got leather belts, you got to condition them just like you do your boots and stuff. And I generally try to on my regular cowhide ones to, depending on how much, about once every 2 months I'll go through and clean and polish them. But when you got exotics, like we got some ostrich over here, we got some American alligator over there, definitely got to take a little bit more time on those. Then also, I want to keep things simple. On regular leather boots, I recommend this Bic 4 leather conditioner. I've used a bunch of different conditioners. This one is really easy. It doesn't darken leather, doesn't leave a sticky residue, anything like that. And then you just come back with it afterwards. And I use like these little leather honey application things to just kind of buff them out. Now, if you're dealing with exotic leathers, everyone in the Reddit channels, they recommend the Bic more exotic. You just spray it on. Get it all over the leathers and then wipe it off after some hours. What I normally do is I'll put the conditioner on these and I won't come back until about 6 hours or the next day. I just got in from a little bit. I felt like knocking out some of these while we had a little bit of downtime, getting ready for the holidays. So, but a lot of cool things. So I always recommend for people that have large families like we do. I got a little 5-year-old. He's 6 now. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right. He turned 6.
Yesterday.
His feet grow so fast. And we have found gems like these little Ariat boots right here. These were normally like $125. Got them for $16 off of eBay. Mm-hmm. Great deal. These right here, Cody James boots. Got these at the thrift store for $9. They look great. Justin little Roper ostriches, got them for $9 at a thrift store. Now the rest of these two, my alligators here are the Benchmade Ariat alligators. There's the black ones, and this is their dark brown ones. These are my Chisos number 2 blacks, my Chisos number 2 browns. I'm wearing my Chisos rough outs. And then I have a couple of these little Amish belts up here that I got from the boot outlet over Moss Point, and then I got 2 alligator belts to match them as well. Now you'll get to see a special treat. Hopefully next week or 2 you'll see some python stuff will be conditioned. That'll be the first time we've ever conditioned those. Same application pretty much that you do with the alligators or the exotic, but you make sure you go with the scales instead of against them and stuff. But definitely easy thing to do. There's tons of videos out there to do this. The biggest thing I see with people who own any type of cowboy boots, even if they're work cowboy style boots, is not keeping them clean and not conditioning. If you want these boots to last forever, all it takes is a simple time of you just conditioning them and taking care of them. So if you're ever sitting around watching TV or something like that, you want to have good boots, you want them to last, this is the way to do it. What about you, Krista, my little helper for the day? Anything you want to say to the people out there?
Keep them clean.
And if you didn't notice, a simple way we do it clean, some people say, I don't do that. We take baby wipes, wipe it down with that, and we'll hit it once with a brush to get the top layer off. Then we'll go through, hit it with a non-alcohol baby wipe, let that dry, and then we hit it with the conditioner. Some people say, hey, that ain't good. You're getting some stuff off you can't get with a brush in it. You want that cleaned real good before you start putting your conditioner on.
Yep, and it's something you can do with the family.
That's right. You see that. And like I said, we're doing these right now. These are our heavier worn ones. We got several more boots. And then I'll show you later about the importance of using boot trees and shaft stabilizers and all that as well. So, anyway, so we'll be back in a little bit. One thing I did want to mention that when you're doing the polishing on your boots, I'm using this one as an example for exotics. I use the exotic conditioner on the exotic leathers. But up here, this is regular leather. I go back and use just the same leather I use on the cowhides for that. So something I've seen a lot of people forget to do in the past is this. This is a giant piece of leather right here. You still need to condition this down here. Condition this little area here, on the sides, on the lip. Very important to do this so this don't dry out. Now some other boots I had a little bit of rubber insole put there, but this one's I've kept with the leather one, so I do have to continue to do that. So real simple on these, I go through here, and I put a little grease on it. I don't go crazy pushing as hard as I can, but I guess it's hard to see, but as you knock some of that top layer off after it's set there for a little bit, come here and look. You can see in the light the shine that's come in on these scales. Now it's real easy to get an alligator, or American alligators, I'm guessing, to shine pretty good. They naturally are shiny scales. They do require more maintenance than normal cowhide. And don't make these your daily wears. These are meant for special occasions, business, weddings, things like that. If you want something that's daily wear, you're gonna want to stick with a cowhide. So same thing with the belts. Make sure you do condition your belts as well. They'll last forever. I get these right here as a boot outlet. These are Amish made belts. They are phenomenal. I've had these now for over a year, and they look like they're gonna be rock and rolling for a long time. Alligator belts, these are true. This is an actual back strip of an alligator here. Same kind of care you have to do to your exotic boots on that as well, and take care of it. So I'm gonna go through them. I'll polish all these up real quick, get that top layer off, and then I'm gonna show you the next thing I do with boot trees and stabilizer. So we'll be right back. So one thing I like to always tell people, say you wore these boots all day, you're sweating in them. Highly recommend if you have an insole on them, take it out. Let this thing breathe. There's leather inside here on the bottom. You need to let that breathe. So I get that out.
Just a minute, baby.
And I stick one of these things right here I get from Amazon. Stick that son of a gun in there. They're made of cedar, and they actually absorb a lot of the moisture and sweat in here. And then I don't want the shaft to ever bend over anything, so I put this. I got these off of Amazon, like 30 of them for like $10. Shove that in there like that. Take my insole, stick that in there, and then for added bonus, I don't have it right now, but I use the little Arm & Hammer little balls and throw it in there. And then I put this up, and that's it. All right, so I just want to do a quick rundown on this. First off, what I'm doing here is conditioning and basic polishing. I still take mine to my local Cobbler, which, by the way, I use Rushing shoe repairs. I'm sorry if I'm getting it wrong, but it's Rushing. It's behind the boot outlet in Moss Point up on 63. I've been using him for over a year now. He does phenomenal work. Highly recommend using him, and he will go in here and do detailed work on this. I don't have the tools, instruments, or the knowledge for it. All I'm doing mainly is just cleaning it and conditioning it. I still like to take him my boots twice a year in order for him to do some detail work. And just so y'all know, I was explaining earlier about some stuff I have done already. You actually do a little bit of detail work different than these. That'll be a separate video I show you on how to handle rough outs. So, but I just want to bring up the importance of using a cobbler. Any type of repairs, they're great with them, and they'll give you great tips and tricks. The guy who owns the repair shop, Russian, he's an amazing guy to deal with. And every time I go in there, I ask him questions about the best way to maintain my boots. He'll even tell you the best boots to get that he recommends that are easier to repair and which ones won't last as long. So not too difficult. A little bit of time. Takes a little bit of time, but like I said, me and my daughter, we sat around watching movies while we were doing this. Always keep a little brush like this that I use just for my boots so I can keep them clean afterwards. And using a lint rag as always, but good little cleanup to get me through the holidays. I'm hoping before I start doing a little more traveling for work and stuff that I'll get a couple of these really detailed out from the Cobbler. But if you got any things that you saw that I did in this video, it's like, hey, have you tried this? Please do that, because I am no pro at all. But I do enjoy hearing other tips and tricks that other people have in order to make this better. Like when I first started this, I didn't put boot trees in there. Now all these have boot trees in them. I removed the insoles out of all of them to let them dry out. I put the shaft stabilizers in them. So it's just stuff I did not know when I first got into this that I've seen has really helped these boots last. And don't ever wear the same boot 2 days in a row, y'all. It really doesn't give your boots time to get the sweat and the moisture out of them and stuff. I understand if you're traveling and you got limited, but try not to make that a daily thing. That's one of the biggest things that will kill your boots quicker. So anyway, I appreciate y'all taking the time on this, and we'll have some other little special boots that are going to be coming up during the holidays for me and my little cowboy buddy over there. We're going to have us some python boots coming this way. So, this is Anthony from Hinkel Homestead, signing out.